Yo, what's up guys, it's Rose here, and today, as you can tell from the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about the newest Bleach chapter that's just been released. At the time of this recording, it is Saturday, I believe. The official chapter comes out on Monday, so I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to have this video out by tomorrow, meaning Sunday, or Monday when the official chapter releases, but we'll see where we go. But yeah, I'm just going to be giving a sort of like reaction / review of the chapter. I'll point out some things that I really enjoyed. There really isn't anything that I didn't enjoy too much about this chapter. It's KUBO, for God's sake, so it was a phenomenal chapter. But yeah, let's get into, I'm going to dive into some more information before I get into the official review. So alongside with the Bleach anime returning, we're supposed to be getting some news later this year. But alongside with the Bleach anime returning, the newest chapter, I think it was revealed today that we're not just getting a one-shot chapter. We're actually getting an entire arc. Now, I do not know if this is 100% official, but the information that's been going around is I'm about 85% sure that this chapter will not just be a one-shot chapter. It will be an entire arc. And with how the chapter started and how it ended and just everything that happened in between, it's pointing to we're getting more Bleach content. We're getting more manga chapters in the coming future. So I just hope that the future Rose can sit back and say I was right. But yeah, I'm probably going to put the source up. I'll probably have it up at this time. But yeah, if you are excited about this chapter and KUBO's new work, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And yeah, let's get into the reaction / review. All right, now I believe this is Kazui narrating right now, but this really caught my attention when I first started reading it. It was stated, when I was little, I owned 2 goldfish. They were cute and I loved them a lot, but at some point, the larger one died. The remaining goldfish seemed to feel lonely, and so did I while observing it. But from that day, the little goldfish I thought had stopped growing began to grow bigger and bigger and continued to become healthier. Seeing that made me really relieved, and I'm glad. It was a good thing that the larger one died. Now, when KUBO put this at the beginning, something kind of went off in my mind. The koi pond, I feel like, and if you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, you might get this reference, but the 2 koi in the pond represent balance, yin and yang. And one of the koi fish dying kind of reminded me of when one of the other koi fish died. I forgot the name of the guy that killed the koi fish in Avatar: The Last Airbender. It was at the end of the water book. When one of the fish died, the moon kind of turned red and then kind of represented imbalance in the universe or in the world. And just the foreshadowing of this is crazy because this ties later on into the chapter. But I feel like KUBO here is referencing that there is a great imbalance that's about to be unleashed into the world. And the fact that he put this here, this is definitely foreshadowing 100%. Now, the beginning of this chapter, the opening sequence of this chapter showcases Kazui sneaking out of his home after Orihime thought he was asleep, and he runs off to this shrine with his uncle and Kon. And he performs this ritual that opens up the portal to the Soul Society. And he does the thing, he's like, you stand here and clap 3 times. Claps 3 times, and you clap once more, you bow twice, and then boom, a portal opens up. And then Kazui says, see, inside here, it's all right, everyone's there. And then we get the title card, Bleach, no breaths from hell. And then after that, the first words that we get are 3 hours earlier. And this kind of threw me for a loop a little bit because it just the 3 hours earlier thing kind of implies that something has happened. And this may just be me being a pessimist, but I feel like a lot of these people are either dead. Well, I don't think they're dead, but they're severely injured or something extremely bad has happened. And we will find out later on. We really don't know exactly what's transpired at this point, but even now, just after reading the chapter, we have a general idea, but really don't know exactly what's been unleashed. And this beginning is kind of ominous in a sense. So KUBO I got my eyes on you. So the chapter opens up with Ikaku training Ichika. They're doing a little sparring session or whatever, and it's fun. It's fun seeing just their interaction with one another. It's a typical master student relationship. You know, they're both kind of headstrong, so the character interactions are really well written. But next we cut to Abari, and he's mentioning the Soul Funeral Festival. He says it's a ritual that takes place 12 years after the funeral of a captain that's died in battle, and that will be relevant later. But one thing that I do want to, I guess, highlight or put focus on for like the first half of this chapter are the once again the character interactions with one another. KUBO does a brilliant job of blending old society with kind of like the new era of stuff. There's a panel where Rukia is kind of like FaceTiming Ichigo, and she's like astonished. She's like, "This is amazing, your face appears." So this is the new model of the Reaper communication device, which we know is basically just FaceTime. And Rukia is looking absolutely wonderful in this panel. But it's just, I just love how KUBO blends the modern and the old in this chapter. It's done really well. So next up, Captain Kurotsuki. Jesus, pronouncing Bleach names for me is going to be incredibly hard because I haven't like pronounced any of these names in a while. So basically, Captain Kurotsuki basically teleports and he basically announces that it's time for like the vice captains to start showing up and to capture the Hollow for the ritual. He says, for the first stage of tonight's Soul Funeral Festival, preliminary ritual capture of the Max Spirit, it's about time for all vice captains to head to the world of the living. So basically, all the vice captains gather together and they head back to the world of the living, where the meat of the chapter could take place, to say the least. So next up, we find everyone for the vice captains in the world of the living. Renji and Ichigo are there and they're arguing with each other. But if there is one thing that I do want to highlight, that I feel like it's incredibly important, and after rereading this chapter a couple times, it's crazy. KUBO's writing is insane, just how he storytells with his art. There is a butterfly right above Renji's daughter, and that's going to be relevant later. But it's crazy because that panel has no words, but it says a lot about basically what's going to happen later on. So she basically senses something. Well, she sees something because Ichigo and Renji, they don't sense it. It's a hollow like skeleton-like creature behind them, and she's like, "What's that? Why hasn't everyone noticed it?" And she cries out, "Father!" And Renji is like, "Ichika, why are you here?" And boom, he's just hit by this creature with seemingly no warning. They do battle. Ichigo slices the skeleton in half, the hollow in half, and everyone's like, "Why didn't he notice it? Why didn't he notice it?" And it's just absolute madness. The battle ensues, and we watch as the various vice captains take down these hollows. But right when it seems like the battle has reached its end, we get a special appearance from the 8th ranked Espada. And Lord knows I'm probably going to jank this name up because I have not read or watched Bleach in a while. Ciela Poro makes an appearance, and befitting of the name of this arc, he announces that he has fallen to hell. Renji asks, what does he mean? And Ciela Poro basically responds, "Hell is nice. You are unleashed from the yoke of a hollow, and your whole is moved outside of your body. Both hatred and pain, like tears, flow outside of your brain." And like that, the panel that KUBO is drawn right here is just absolutely gorgeous, and I'll probably put it up right here. It's probably hands down my favorite panel of the chapter so far. After Ciela Poro makes his entrance, he then attacks, or he threatens to attack Renji's daughter, Ichika, that's there. And Renji is unable to, I guess, catch up to her in time. And then Ichigo comes in and he basically saves Renji and saves his daughter. After that, then Cialaparo basically shouts, "I'm gonna kill you, Ichigo," and Ichigo responds, basically, "I don't know who you are."
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are.
So, in the next scene, we see that there are like these little droplets falling from the sky, and Shunsui manages to catch one of them on his blade, and it kind of sizzles a little bit. And then he mentions that that they're called Will-O-Wisp, and there's a Will-O-Wisp from hell. And if you're a Pokemon fan, you know that Will-O-Wisp has pretty ass accuracy, but not. Jokes aside, it's basically everyone's like, Will-O-Wisp, why is there something like that here? He basically says, could you all lend your ears to a single superstition? And he says, it's been spoken about for a long time in the Soul Society, and I believe it to be superstition as well. There is a word, Ray, I don't know if that's pronounced right, basically translates to a spiritual authority, and it's a unit of measurement that's used to be utilized by nobles, and it is said to represent the concentration of Ryatsu that resides in Reishi. I'm pretty bad at pronouncing these Bleach terminology, so forgive me. The average division member has a Ri of grade 20. Vice captains vary between grades 5 and 4, and captains consist of grades 3 and higher. A Soul Reaper's body is made up of Reishi, and when they die, their bodies turn into Reishi and return to the earth of Soul Society. But people classified as grade 3 and higher can't do that because their Ryatsu concentration is too high. And what allows them to return is this ritual, which is the ritual that was mentioned at the beginning, the Soul Funeral Festival. This is what's taught at the Soul Reaper Academy. And what I'm about to say is the superstition, quote unquote. Actually, Reishi of grade 3 and higher cannot return to the earth of Soul Society no matter what. So what should we do? We can't allow Reishi that's too powerful to remain in Soul Society. The Soul Funerals Festival's real purpose is something else. With this ritual, deceased captains are sent down to hell. Next, Cialaparo basically confirms that this superstition, quote unquote, is actually the truth. And he's kind of mocking Ichigo. He's kind of saying that a price has to be paid in order for strafe to be gained. Souls that have lost a place to return to because of the immense power that they sought are saved by sending them down to hell. And he said, this is kindness, and unbeknownst to them, the benevolent soul
that you could do so.
The realization of what their ritual has been about hits Rukia, and she basically asks Captain Shunsui, is this true? Like, have we really been sending our comrades to hell? And then Captain Shunsui comes to that, basically retorts to her, and basically comes to that realization as well. And it's kind of like, oh shit. So then we cut back to Cialaparo, and he basically announces, and this is the caveat, balance has been broken. Now, if you remember what I said in the beginning of the video about how the koi fish kind of represent balance, KUBO's foreshadowing is ridiculous. His foreshadowing is ridiculous, and I just had to give him props for that. That balance has indeed been broken, and we do not know what this means as of yet, but things are coming. Bad things are coming. So now Cialaparo goes on to explain that the tremendous Ryatsu that was keeping the mouth of hell in check, Aizen Sosuke, disappeared, and right after your watch vanished, you guys sent tremendous Ryatsu down to hell one after another, allowing the mouth of hell to be forced open from hell's side. The founder of Gotai, Yamamoto, the Blade of Death, Retsu, and today he then himself is stabbed. I think he's like, you've made an earlier arrival. Divine Vow, Ukitake, Jushiro. So he basically sacrifices himself. And Ichigo says, what are you saying? The ritual is still, it's finished. You guys just slaughtered those ghouls from hell right in front of Ukitake, Jushiro. Then a seal appears on Ichigo's chest. Cialaparo says, I will return, and you guys should think properly. Hell has always been nearby. There's no way you haven't noticed. Haven't you ever wondered why the butterflies that guide Soul Reapers have hell in their name? And then the chapter ends following Kuzai, and then you see a butterfly at the end. He's chasing after a butterfly, and then you get the end title card: Bleach, New Breath from Hell, Howl from the Jaws of Hell arc. Okay, so this chapter from start to finish was just masterclass. It was great. I enjoyed every page, every panel, everything. And even though the panels that were shown wasn't from the official chapter itself, I highly urge you to support the official release and read it when it comes out, because I know that some of the translations, some of the words from the panels that I read and that were released aren't really the best. So just always read the official release when it comes out. But my initial thoughts from the chapter was just they set up so much. KUBO set up so much, and this art can go so many ways. And I'm just overall so excited that we have more Bleach content again, and that KUBO is back, and that he's still able to make a mark, and that he's able to move the dial when it comes to getting shonen fans amped up. Because as I was reading this chapter, and I read it about 3-4 times, I felt like a kid again. I felt like I was waking up and I was just rushing to get to go on the internet or pick up the next volume and just read it. And it's just so good, and I'm just so happy that Bleach is back. And I know it sounds like I'm rambling on and on, but this is just my initial reaction, my initial thoughts. But yeah, man, KUBO did an excellent job. I don't know by the time if this video will be out, if the chapter will be out or not, but if anything, probably some of the translation from this video will probably be outdated by the time the chapter comes out. But I feel like just overall, I was able to cover the general idea, the general plot of the chapter so far. But yeah, we're going to end it with that. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed making it. It was tons of fun. I'll definitely be covering more Bleach content in the future. I'll probably try to review chapters as they come out. I don't know if that's going to be the 100% promise, but I would definitely make an attempt. I would definitely be reading it, so you could be getting more Bleach content. So if you guys would like more Bleach content, if you like this reaction / review / my thoughts or whatever, I really don't know what to call this, make sure that you leave a like, that you comment, that you subscribe, and you let me know what you thought about the chapter down in the comment section below. So yeah, guys, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, night, or whenever you're watching this or whenever you listen to this. And yeah, it's all peace, love, and happiness, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.